This program is dedicated to those that paid for their lives at the hands of the state.
I want to welcome all of you to another edition of Silent Voices. Beside me is Maria Malin, and we're at the Capitol in Lansing, Michigan today for a special edition of Silent Voices. Maria, why are we here?
We're here to bring attention to child abuse that takes place, court-licensed abuse, and children that are in general placed in abusive homes. We're standing up for the children, and we hope to have a really good turnout today here in Lansing, Michigan.
And let's go to a few of the sights and sounds of the rally here in Lansing.
I am here with Rick Calhoun of Dominick's Warriors. Rick, can you tell us a little bit about your grandson and what happened?
My grandson was Dominick Calhoun, and he was tortured and abused for 4 days while in the custody of his mother, which was my son's past fiance. And he was burnt, kicked, had brain trauma over a 4-day period because he wet his pants on a couch that belonged to Brandon Hayes' mom. And that's what started the cycle. And eventually I was called into the apartment by Corrine Baker, the mother's sister, frantically, and went over to the apartment to find my grandson unconscious on the floor. So we called 911, and I went and got the police, and 2 days later my grandson died because of his injuries to his brain swelling, and then that's where we started the pursuit of Dominick's Law for Michigan.
I am so sorry about your loss. So what are you doing now to implement change, and where do you see we can make change that would benefit the children the most?
Well, we got Dominick's Law passed in order to increase the time that child abusers spend behind bars. It was one way to stop somebody that had already abused a child and to keep them in jail for a longer period of time. The man, Brandon Hayes, that killed my grandson was supposed to be in jail at that time for many, many things that he had done. And he was let go early by a judge simply because of overcrowding in the jails. So by rights, he should have been in jail when my grandson was murdered. So what we've done is just try to increase the jail terms, but there's way more that's got to be done. We're here today to talk about Wyatt's Law, which would be a great law because of the fact that it would actually put these even a first-time offender that's convicted would be on a registry. Now, we tried to get a registry to happen to include it in Dominick's Law, but it didn't happen. So these guys are fighting the fight, and we're basically trying to just continue to make sure that everybody advocates for child abuse, and that everybody is a mandate reporter, whether you're a teacher or not, or law enforcement or whatever. We try and instill that into people just to be listening not afraid to say something if you see something going on, because it happens way too much where people hear things going on and just don't think it's their business when it is their business.
Right.
Everybody has to keep their eyes and ears open and make sure they do their part, and that's basically what we try and do, to
Right.
educate people and to make sure that they do their part.
So, what can the general public do going forward to help get these new laws into place and to try to get children protected a little bit better, in your opinion?
Well, the only thing that you can do, because obviously the only avenue you really have right now is to call authorities. You call CPS, DHS. They're so inundated that all these CPS workers have hundreds and hundreds of cases that they're dealing with on a daily basis. That only leaves, the only way to do it is by changing the law system, adding to the laws, like Wyatt's Law, a registry. And the way to do that is everybody has to get a hold of their state representative. It's very easy. You can pick your phone up and you can Google state representative for Ingham County, Genesee County, whatever. It's going to give you that, your state senator. It's the only way you can do it. And you inundate them. I send emails still to this day, to keep them, on their toes about, child abuse, and try to separate. The other big thing that we can do is try and separate adults from children. That's the way it's got to be done. Adults have rights, children don't have rights. They're all thrown in together, which is ridiculous, they should have child courts, they should have family courts and things like that. But the biggest thing right now is just to call your state representative, email your state representative, get a hold of their chief of staff, because usually in this business, the law business, the chief of staff really runs the show. The representative is the figurehead. The chief of staff, whoever is, for like Joe Graves, who was really helped me out a lot. It was their chief of staff, Susan Martin, who did the majority of the hard work to get this thing done, other than us. And I want to put a shout out to Donna Hasman, who was incredible in getting Dominick's law passed, worked diligently with me, lived in Colorado, and really helped me out. And together with Cheryl Scott and Renee Underlegger and a bunch of other people, obviously we got Dominick's law passed. But you have to contact these people in Lansing, or nothing will ever be done.
Right.
Yeah. And that's about it.
Well, I want to thank you for taking the time to speak
Sorry
with
for
us
ranting.
today. We appreciate that.
Yeah. And hopefully together we can get some of these things solved, man.
Definitely.
And I know you're a big, huge fighter, and you're going to keep going. So
Yes.
That's a big bonus for us. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Hello, this is Maria with Silent Voices. I am here with two members of BACA, which stands for Bikers Against Child Abuse. We are here today and just kind of wondering what you guys are doing here, what brought you here, and what you do for children all over.
Well, Bikers Against Child Abuse is a worldwide 501c3 nonprofit organization. We empower abused children to not fear the world in which they live in. So this march against child abuse is right up our alley. We're against child abuse. So we want to come here and raise some awareness against child abuse. That's what we're all about.
Okay, and how did you guys get started? How did you get into what you're doing?
Well, Bikers Against Child Abuse was started in 1995 by a guy named Chief. He's a registered child play therapist, and he saw a need that where bikers could actually help abused children. It filled the gap and it empowered them and made them, not be afraid of the world in which they live in. And as far as our chapter goes, we're the Wayne County chapter. We're the first chapter here in Michigan. We just officially became the first full chartered chapter in November of 2015. And we have other chapters in Ottawa County, Ingham County, and we've got some cleared forming efforts in Saginaw and up in Sault Ste. Marie. So we're slowly starting to spread around Michigan to help empower abused children.
Okay, and what is it exactly that you do for children? I mean, how do you guys help the general public or abused children exactly?
We will, like I said, we fill the gaps that like the police and CASA and care houses don't fill. Basically, what happens is if a kid wakes up in the middle of the night and he's afraid, the police aren't going to come out and make sure he's feeling better. We will actually send members out there. We'll have 2 primaries, which we call assigned to that hero. We call them heroes. They're not victims, and we'll assign the primaries to them. They will call and say, our hero is scared and can't sleep. We'll have members come out there and we'll actually watch the house 24 hours a day for as long as it takes until that kid feels safe and can go to sleep. We escort them to court. We escort them to parole hearings. Basically, a BACA child is 4 times more likely to testify than a regular child, because the way it works is sometimes the prosecutors, the defense attorneys, what they'll do is they'll subpoena all the family as witnesses to get them out of the courtroom so they can get in there and just talk to the child. Well, they can't subpoena us. So what we do is we sit in there and we're a friendly face to the hero. We don't stare at the perp. Our goal is not to mess with the perp. Our only goal is to empower that child. That's it. We're there for the child. So they can hold a coin. They can hold a teddy bear that we give them. So that's how we abuse the children, and we've seen some pretty good results.
That's really awesome. That sounds like it would be helpful to a scared child. So where can our viewers find you? Do you have a website or?
Our national website is bacaworld.org, and our state website is michigan.bacaworld.org. And all the links are on there. You can contact us through there. If anybody's out there that watches this and has a child that's in fear and they've got a court case, our child liaison will contact them, send us an email. We're there for them.
That's amazing. That sounds like a great organization.
Thank you.
Well, we want to thank you for being here today, and
No problem.
let's
We're
hope
passionate
that
about child abuse.
Yes, we are too.
Yep,
Let's
that's
just
awesome.
hope that we can make a change and get the viewers involved with what people here are doing for child abuse. Thank you so much,
Thank
guys,
you very much
being
for the
with
interview.
us.
We appreciate it.
I'm actually what you call a survivor. A lot of you guys are out here telling your stories and stuff. Well, I'll give you a little bit of insight on mine. My biological mother started abusing me when I was about 4 years old, and I had my siblings as well. I was the oldest of 6, and I had to take care of them at the age of 4. She would allow her boyfriends to rape us, molest us, beat us with a frying pan, just so she can get her next hit. And if you don't know what I mean by hit, I'm talking about drugs. She would sit there and leave us for 2 weeks. We lived out of a box in Flint, just so she could go and be with her man at the choice that she had at that time. That's just a small portion. That's how it started. Through the years, finally somebody in my family spoke up. My godmother did, and convinced my biological mother to put us in foster care, thinking that that was going to be the best bet for us. Well, we had some good foster homes, but some of them, the same abuse occurred. My foster brother was allowed to rape me and molest me, and I was told that I was a liar and I'm a no good person, and that I'm just making up these stories because I wanted to get out of the foster home. And the truth is, I just wanted to find a place to stay and find somebody that could love me and care for me. I just want people to know that emotional abuse is harder than physical abuse. Physical abuse can go away. The bruises can go away, but emotional abuse is there for life. Because of being abused as a child and as a young teen, even in the military, I was abused and I was raped by my command sergeant major. I didn't report it, but when I did report it, they just told me that, oh, it's too late. So, yeah, it can happen anywhere, people. And that emotional abuse from when I was a child has interfered in my life as an adult. I have post-traumatic stress disorder. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but that's a disease that can haunt you for a while. They tried to put me on medications. They tried to put me in the institution for a while, trying to tell me I was crazy and I was making up stories. But let me tell you, what child will make up a story about a person being abused? What child will make it up? What child can come up with extravaganza of a guy taking a frying pan handle and shoving up your area and telling you that, oh, this is going to be okay for you, this is going to turn you into a woman? What person does that? I don't know of anybody that loves me will do that to me. I said, so I grew up thinking that as long as they're abusing me, that's love. And so that interferes now as an adult in my life. Up until about a year ago, I finally met a gentleman that knows my whole story, and he cares about me, he loves me, and he's there to support me. And I have my family through Dominick's Law. I have my family through the Child Abuse Awareness Group. And all I can encourage you guys that are out there trying to get something passed, keep on fighting, because that's what's going to happen. You got to keep on fighting. And we got to keep being those voices for those that can't be the voice. Like the lady above in front of me, her 2-year-old children or 3-year-old children, she's their voice. And I'm the voice for those that can't be. So thank you very much, and be out there and don't be afraid to tell somebody.
Can everyone hear me? Okay. My name is Megan, and I'm super nervous. I'm not a good public speaker at all. But I just felt called to be here today, and called to come up and share my story, my daughter's story. My daughters were abused by their father when they were 3 months old, shaken baby. Right. And my one daughter was in the hospital for 5 days. She had subdural subarachnoid hemorrhaging. She had retinal hemorrhaging. And my ex-husband now was convicted in the state of Texas. Well, he was put on deferred adjudication for this abuse. So he's out here, he's walking around on probation. And he is now seeking visitation for my daughters in family court right now. So that's where we're at with that. And coming here and hearing this stuff, I just feel very empowered, I guess, to, because I'm the voice for my children. So, yeah, I don't think that it's right that someone who has this history can now come and seek visitation for their daughters. So yeah, I don't really know what else to say. That's it. I just wanted to share my story.
If you would like to be a guest on Silent Voices, contact us at miparentalrights@gmail.com. That's miparentalrights@gmail.com. And we'll be back after these messages.
Away from home, my dear sweet child. They ripped you away from my loving arms for the love of dirty money and pride. Broken hearts after they torn them in two, but they can't keep our spirits down long, 'cause the Lord will see us through. You are not alone. You will be back home. Loving arms once again. We all need to stand together and bring justice back to this world of shame. Don't give up. God will heal our nation if we only call out to Him. If we only call out to Him. You are not alone. Home soon in my loving arms once again. My child, do not give up. There are many fighting to bring you home. Many who have given up their lives for you. You have grown child. See you home soon. See you home soon. Home soon.
And I want to thank each and every one of you for joining in today for a special edition of Silent Voices.
You can catch us next week, same time, same channel.
Until next week, my friends, remember, your voice can make the difference.